a Lord of the Rings CPU slash soundboard, and it has one of Rob Anthony's any pin DMD and VRAM modules installed. That's a good quality product. It also has the, I guess, the intercept board for the pin sound system that sits atop where the 68B09EP would normally sit. It goes into that socket, and then you transfer your 6809 to the pin sound socket. And this board, a gentleman had pictured it on one of the forums. I don't remember which one. And the feedback was that it had too much corrosion to be salvaged. Well, what looked like corrosion was just white grunge of some kind, maybe vinegar residue, I don't know, around U201. And so I agreed to take it on. And what I found was I could wash that white grunge off. There was a tiny bit of corrosion around U201, so I removed the old chip, installed a quality dual wipe socket, and installed an NOS HCT273. This chip is responsible for output to this dual row header, which goes over to the DMD controller. So this board is 100% functional right now. You can see it's in attract mode with the lamps, but do let me put it through all of its tests. Oh, the pin sound daughter card was not connected correctly. The left side 20 pins were splayed outside the socket. And those are machine pin pins, so it was quite an adventure bending those things back so they'd get back into the socket. Let's test the switches first. I've got one of the venerable Pennytech switch matrix testers here, and we will walk across the diagonal. Sometimes when you hear something like that, it makes a sound when you press the switch, and when you let off the switch. I think that's when there's an opto involved. So all those switches are working correctly. We can test the coils. I'll have it cycle. This is my power driver board, so really all we're testing is a coil or flasher circuit from one of each of the four banks controlled by an HCT273 works correctly. But we'll watch all 32 of them anyway. I was glad I saved one of these boards. I gave several of them away to people, but I saved one. And I'm going to repurpose that for a Gottlieb System 3 tester, since Gottlieb System 3 uses 32 coils also. So all those coils are working correctly. Let's do all the lamps. That's my custom board there. I got to use a 5x8, two 5x8 matrices to make a 10x8 matrix. System 3, not so much. Flash lamps are a rehash of some of the coil circuits. Interesting that they use one of those high ones for Lord of the Rings. Hate it. The client had indicated that there was no sound coming out of it at all, but clearly that's working. One thing I did find, and I don't know how this would have happened, but there's normally a 3-pin 0.100 header here, and there's a 2-pin jumper that you put across this header to indicate that you have either an 8K or a 32K RAM installed. It was down on the 32K, don't know why. I removed that jumper. There was a little corrosion on the one of the 3 pins, so I just take those jumpers off. The only time this jumper ever needs to be in the 32K position is when the CPU's in the very first Stern game, Sharky Shootout. All other Stern games use a 6264 at NVRAM. So this one is good to go. Back in the mail. You'll be defending whatever that place is on Lord of the Rings again soon.